Perfect.
Yeah, well, it was the worst sight I'd ever seen.
We love the view, and the sunsets are incredible.
The weather is brutal.
It had everything.
Earthquakes, tidal waves, horizontal rain.
We wanted lots of windows.
I insisted on Anderson windows.
At Anderson, we appreciate the builders who, time after time, make it look easy.
We're still in love with this house.
And I'm still recovering.
Worry-proof, time-proof. Anderson Windows.
Your Honor, can I speak? First, take your hand off your hip. Stand up straight, like you're in court. You're not at a beach.
Judge Judy. Judge Judy at 4 on RTV6.
In just a few days, Formula One fans from around the world will begin arriving right here in Indianapolis.
And we want to give them a great welcome. That, of course, means, too, that there is a lot to learn about what to do and not to do when the international guests are in town. But a group of volunteers and hospitality service workers are well prepared already. Chris Bavinger reports.
Communicating with someone can be difficult even when you speak the same language. But add a host of other languages as well as cultural differences, and difficult doesn't even begin to describe it.
This is about cultural sensitivity. We want the international guests to feel welcome, to feel at home here in Indiana, not only for this event, but so that they will feel welcome to come back.
While here, visitors will need transportation, and Kerry Limousines has a fleet of drivers getting tips in cultural awareness.
And we're going to adapt to that to make sure that all of our drivers are very sensitive of the fact that what is customary here may not be customary in other countries, and just to help everybody try to get on the same page so we don't offend anybody.
But who can really be offended by good old Hoosier hospitality?
Everybody in the city has just gone over and above, I think, showing these people the best time that they can have while they're here in the city, and I think they're going to have a great time.
But no matter how hospitable you are, one thing could still be a stumbling block: gestures that could offend a visitor.
Nonverbal communication can be where you look when you're talking, if you look down, if you look at in the eyes, if you touch even someone's arm when you're talking to them. All of that's nonverbal, and all of that portrays a lot more communication than even the verbal stuff.
One of those gestures, this. We use it to mean okay, but in other countries, it's the equivalent of giving someone the finger. The best piece of advice, just smile and welcome everyone to town. Downtown, I'm Chris Bavinder, 6 News.
Okay. Keep your hands in your pocket at all times.
1.5 weeks away.
Well,
don't use your hands.
Folks, what can we learn from our mistakes? If you're the Colts and you're looking to learn any lessons from Sunday's loss to Oakland, don't look for any profound insights from head coach Jim Mora. After seeing his team blow a 21-0 lead and give up 24 points in the third quarter to Oakland, the veteran coach was not moved to be overly philosophical.
I don't like losing. You know, you can say, well, we got to learn from it. Sure, yeah, but you got to learn when you win. You got to learn when you lose. I mean, I don't put oh, man, we got to learn from this and stuff like that. Heck with learning from it. Let's go out and win, you know. I mean, when you experience things, whatever they are in a game, good, bad, indifferent, or whatever, that you come away with it and learn something from it.
And while we're all waiting for one of the world's most avid fishermen to address all those folks down in Bloomington, let's do Ed's Big Old Fish, shall we? Look at the tans on these two. And their catch, a 41-inch, 14-pound, 10-ounce northern pike. That's Jordan on the left and Jackson Reed, ages 10 and 6, respectively. They hooked this beauty at Lake Tippecanoe. Nice job, guys, and past the Hawaiian Tropic. 2 more little guys, 2 more big old fish. These Indy Southsiders are John McGill and J.B. Jones. They caught and released over 100 smallmouth bass like these two during a recent 4-day trip to Stony Lake, Michigan. Dad Mark and son Tyler Hodson of Farmland, Indiana, coming at you right here, cast their line from a dock at Cochrane, Ontario. The first fish they hooked was so big it broke the line. Then Mark battled this 34-pound, 4-foot-long sturgeon for 45 minutes before finally bringing it in, and he almost lost his shorts in the process. 4 of our 6 big old fishermen this week need shirts. They'll get them soon in the mail, and so can you. Send me a good quality photo with some info about the catch, this address. If we use it on live TV, you too can win an official Ed's Big Old Fish t-shirt. Well, the Tribe will host Game 3 of their best-of-5 International League Championship Series with Scranton tonight. Game time 7 p.m. at Victory Field. They won last night in Pennsylvania to square the series with Philly's top farm team, the Red Barons, at a game apiece. Games 4 and 5, if a 5th game is needed, will also be at the Vic Yard tomorrow and Friday nights. We'll have highlights of Game 2 for you tonight. Game 3, that is, coming your way on sports at 10 and 11.
Perfect weather for an Indians game. Full moon, everything.
Nice.
Gorgeous day.
Yeah.
Bob?
That's right. If you're going out to the Indians game tonight, Not only will the weather be quiet, but you'll have a little added lighting, courtesy of the harvest moon. The harvest moon being the full moon closest to the first day of fall, and we'll get a good view of it tonight with generally fair skies throughout much of our area. But this morning, well, temperatures dropped down into the mid-40s around there, down to 45 at Frankfurt, Peru, also over at Newtown and at New Market. Other readings, 52 or 51 at Columbus, and 52 at Columbus, and 51 at Greensburg. Here's the weather changer. This front that's approaching our area from the northwest, it'll hurtle in a southeasterly fashion, driving through Indiana during the course of the day tomorrow, increasing the possibility of some scattered showers and thunder showers during the course of the day. And then I think we're going to have much cooler air, and you can certainly see that reflected in our 6-day outlook, with high temperatures Saturday only in the low to mid-60s. Wow. It'll definitely have the feel of football weather this weekend.
It'll be chilly.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Bob. Coming up at 6, The Buzz is all about Bob Knight today in Bloomington. We have complete coverage leading up to and including the General's highly anticipated speech.
And we are there. Look at the podium from which Bob Knight will be speaking about 10 minutes from now. More than 2,000 people gathered to hear his speech in Dunn Meadow. We'll be checking back from the ground, giving you a scene setter right after the break.
6 News is brought to you by Smuckers. With a name like Smuckers, it has to be good.
With a name like Smuckers, it has to be good.
Now for moms in a hurry, Smuckers introduces new Uncrustables PB&J sandwiches. Smuckers starts with delicious peanut butter and jelly, takes off the crusts, and seals in all the goodness of homemade. Uncrustables go from freezer to lunchbox for a soft taste like fresh-made Smuckers PB&J at school. Try new Smuckers Uncrustables. They're in the freezer aisle. With a name like Smuckers, it has to be good.
For over 50 years, the Dellin Automotive family has done business in a fair and honest manner. Whether it's a new Oldsmobile or a Chevrolet, you'll save the most at Dellin in Greenfield. How? It's simple. We discount, we deal, and now we deliver anywhere in central Indiana. That saves you money, and that sells cars and trucks. Visit Dellin Oldsmobile and Chevrolet today, and we'll prove it to you. Just 10 minutes east on US 40 in Greenfield.
After 24 years in office, Senator Lugar has lost touch with Hoosier families. It's hard to believe, but he voted 6 times against prescription drug coverage for our parents. He's voted against a Real Patients Bill of Rights to stop HMO abuses. He's even voted against using the surplus to protect Social Security and Medicare, and voted instead to give tax cuts to the rich. Call Senator Lugar. Tell him it's time he voted for Hoosier families for a change.
After 43 years of marriage, Frank O'Bannon and I have shared a lot. And one thing we share is a deep commitment to the children of Indiana. That's why, as governor, Frank worked so hard to give every child a good beginning. And it's why Frank has made improving education his top priority. We still have a lot of work to do, but I'm proud of what we've accomplished. Indiana now leads the nation in children's health care and academic standards. I know with your help, Frank O'Bannon will continue to work for a better future for all of our children.
Give me 30 seconds of your time, and I'll show you how just $5 puts you in any car or truck in our inventory. Hi, I'm Jackie Lyons for Budget Car Sales and Leasing right here on 38th Street. And right now, at Budget, you'll pay a $5 acquisition fee and take on the low payments of any vehicle in our inventory. Listen to this. Here's the best news. You'll not make a payment for 90 days. No payments for 90 days. So visit us right here on 38th Street at Budget, or pick up that phone and call.
Survivor Sue, Kelly, and Rudy still doing battle, plus former Angel Vera Fawcett making a comeback. Next, Access Hollywood.
Access Hollywood at 7 on RTV6.
It may be one of the most highly anticipated events on the IU campus in Bloomington in some time.
No doubt about it. Bob Knight giving his account this evening of his dismissal as coach of the IU basketball team. Vicki Duncan joins us again from Dunn Meadow, where Bob Knight is expected anytime. Vicki, any night sighting yet?
No night sightings yet, but obviously people here are anxious to see him. Take a look from Skycam. You can see thousands of people are here in Dunn Meadow to see Coach Knight. And really, from the ground, if you get pretty far back, you can't see a whole lot. But if you go walk over, see what some people are doing, Some have even resorted to rooftops. But again, back down here on the ground with all of our friendly Knight supporters, which we do have a lot of Knight supporters here. We haven't really seen many dissenters. A lot of people are doing what they can to see Coach Knight, expected here any minute now. Live down in Bloomington, Vicki Duncan, 6 News.
Okay, thanks, Vicki. We'll get back to you in just a few moments.
And as we take another look live from Skycam 6, the seconds are ticking away until we hear about the firing of Bob Knight from the man himself. Our live coverage will continue up at 6 o'clock.
And here on the ground where there is little elbow room, everyone here, thousands waiting to see their general. I am Eric Weissel. We are just feet from the podium here on the Indiana University campus. I'll have a live report from Dunn Meadow.
And they may have lost the general, but today the team got new marching orders. We were there on the first day of basketball workouts without Knight.
This is a Culligan drinking water system. Here's how it works. Imagine this is your family's drinking water, and this is a water impurity. Then this is a Culligan drinking water system. It's more than a pitcher or faucet filter. It's a security system for your water.
Rent a Culligan water system for only $6.90 per month.
Has he been fed?
6 News is brought to you by the American Dairy Association. Got milk?
Don't even think about it. Why do we always have to wait for the captain? Let's eat!
The power of the cheese.
It's a long road to the Olympic Games, and Chevy is driving towards the goal during the final days of the Chevrolet U.S. Olympic Countdown. Get $2,500 cash back on the safe and secure 2000 Blazer 4-door, or get $2,000 cash back on the rugged 2000 S10. These offers won't last. It all ends October 2nd. Hurry to the final days of the Chevrolet U.S. Olympic Countdown at your local Chevy dealer today.
Father, I hit someone. I hit him. I hit him hard. He hit the ground like a ton of bricks, and I stood over him, and I screamed.
How did it make you feel?
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I see. Very good, my son. See you next Sunday.
The classic Italian calzone, a timeless recipe whose time is now. Introducing Fazoli's new calzones. Honest-to-goodness, huge handmade Italian pockets, stuffed full of your favorite ingredients and loaded with fresh mozzarella and provolone. There's classic and pizzeria. They're slow-baked and served fast, fresh, and hot. New fresh-baked calzones at Fazoli's. Real Italian, real fast.
Seen the misleading negative ads? Typical politics, isn't it? The truth? Senator Dick Lugar's bringing Republicans and Democrats together to protect Medicare and Social Security and to make sure every senior can afford prescription medicine. Because some things are more important than politics.
Americans want constructive people that will do the right thing with regard to health care, Social Security, prescription drugs. These are not partisan issues.
Senator Dick Lugar, the experience to do more.
Live from RTV6 Indianapolis, this is 6 News at 6.
Eyes across Indiana and the nation are focusing on Dunn Meadow at the Indiana University campus in Bloomington. Soon, former coach Bob Knight will take center stage there and give his side of the story.
Good evening to you. Anytime now, that's when we expect Bob Knight to begin addressing those gathered on the IU campus in Bloomington. And as you can see from Skycam 6, today's development has drawn a big crowd over to Dunn Meadow, where they're going to hear from Bob Knight any minute now. Knight will take the podium, and we'll bring you that speech live and in its entirety when it happens.
And you can also hear it on 87.7 on your FM dial. In the meantime, university officials are taking a low-key response to Knight's upcoming speech. Eric Weisfeld begins our live team coverage with that story from Bloomington. Eric, cheering.
Yeah, a huge, huge crowd here, Clyde Martha. Take a look. Thousands of people here. The crowd has been growing consistently. Some of these students have literally been here all day. Now, this is an event that the university spokespeople say they are not endorsing or supporting. This is actually taking place in Dunn Meadow, which is considered a free speech area. Anyone can speak here. They do say, though, that they're glad the general is having a chance to address the students. After this, though, they say it's time to move on.
The reason we're all here has to do with academics and classes and degrees, and that's certainly priority one. Priority two, let's celebrate what has been a wonderful run in IU basketball, great tradition, great memories. And then three, let's get behind this team that's going to be on the floor in November and cheer them on.
Back here now with all of these fans gathering. Scott is going to join us now. Scott, can you tell me why you're here?
I'm a big Knight supporter. As you can see, all these people, you know, IU.
Think this is necessary, though, to kind of put a period at the end of the sentence?
I think so. He'll coach again. You know, we'll see him somewhere. He may hang a rafter somewhere else.
All right. Scott, thank you for joining us. And Coach Knight is expected to speak at 6 o'clock, so we are just past 6 o'clock. Now, when he does approach the podium, you can bet we will bring you this speech live in its entirety. We are live here on the Indiana University campus in Dunn Meadow. Eric Weisfeld, 6 News.
Some of those kids obviously quite excited. Thanks, Eric.
As we wait to hear what Knight is going to say, we have some idea what's on the minds of people waiting to hear from him. Rafael Sanchez is live with more on that story now. Rafael?
Good evening, Clyde. People here at Dunn Meadow are ready to listen and to salute the general. On this day, Ryan Gunterman could not stay away from Dunn Meadow.
It's kind of like the last time you get to see your friend before they move away.
I don't think that people are making too much of it. I mean, it's a national event.
Before the speakers or microphones were in place, students claimed their spot to see Bobby Knight's personal farewell.
Yeah, I'm skipping all my classes. I don't know. I only had 2 today, and I'm doing my homework. I brought my homework for those classes.
Definitely. I think I would regret it if I wasn't here.
And though many will miss the coach, others believe it may be best for the program.
So people are probably going to pay more attention to actually the basketball court than what Bob Knight does. They're not going to be looking for him to grab a player and yell at him. He's not.
But they are ready to listen to Coach Bobby Knight. We've just been told that he left his home, so he could be here within the next 5 to 15 minutes. Live in Bloomington, Rafael Sanchez, 6 News.
Thanks, Rafael.
As you know, Bob Knight's dismissal has been highly emotional. We saw that Sunday night when thousands of people, students, marched on the President's home and on Assembly Hall. Well, today, campus and city officials are not leaving anything to chance. Galen Bartnick is live with the details on that. Galen? I'm sorry, Erica.
Well, Martha, while Bob Knight attempts to tie up some loose ends right here, the IU basketball team is trying to get back on track themselves. Take a look at some video we shot today at practice. The team went through their first official workout without Bob Knight leading the way. New interim head coach Mike Davis headed conditioning and workouts today at Assembly Hall. And the team says though it was different or weird, as one of the players told me, they said they are ready to move forward, and they say they can see that their new coach is ready too.
It was probably one of the hardest days we've had in conditioning yet, so that just shows you how Coach Davis and Coach Treeler are going about things. You know, they've got a job to do now, and they can't live in the past, and we got a season to get ready for.
Now, today was not an official practice. It was just individual workouts and conditioning. Official practices don't begin until mid-October. We are live in Bloomington. Erica Fly, 6 News.
All right, thanks, Erica.
Bob Knight says he thinks the IU team has a good year ahead of them. In an interview last night on ESPN, he says that's one of the reasons he didn't resign when the zero-tolerance policy was established.
That I should have done, but I didn't do it because of the kids that we have here. These kids came here because of me. They came here to play for me, and I felt this in my mind, so I thought that I have an obligation to these kids.
Bob Knight hasn't yet said what's in his future, but the offers are already pouring in. We understand new Pacers coach Isaiah Thomas said he'd like to have him on the bench to help him out as a mentor, but Knight is turning down that offer.
And the firing of Coach Knight will have several repercussions at IU, as you know, but will one of them be financial? IU's varsity club says it's already received calls from Knight supporters threatening to cut off future donations to the school. Others have demanded refunds for season tickets. Officials, though, aren't worried. They say larger contributors are more loyal, and they say the threats won't have any long-term effects. And again, we're waiting for Coach Knight to step to the microphone set up for him at Dunn Meadow on the Bloomington campus. We are told that he should be there in about 10 minutes, and when we go there, and when he gets there, we will go there live. We'll get back to the night story in just a moment, but first a look at the other news of the day.
Yeah, Governor Frank O'Bannon has again extended the moratorium on the sales tax on gasoline. This suspension was supposed to end Friday night, but O'Bannon extended it for another 15 days until September 30th. Last week he said he didn't think he would continue the moratorium, which he put into effect on July 1st, but climbing pump prices changed his mind.
What we see is a very volatile market out there on crude oil prices. Certainly the crude oil supplies in the United States are the lowest they've ever been in 24 years.
O'Bannon says the tax holiday has saved Hoosiers $28 million, the longest he can keep the tax office until late October.
Morgan County authorities say a Brooklyn man was shot to death before firefighters found his body in his burned-out car. The victim is 45-year-old Robbie Bott. His body was discovered early yesterday in the trunk of his car on the city's southwest side. Now, Morgan County Sheriff's detectives who found evidence of a burglary at Bott's Brooklyn home are not sure if he was the victim of a random attack or was killed by someone that he knew. Investigators want to talk to anyone who may have last seen Bott on Monday or saw his car early Tuesday morning along State Road 67. Now, police may have brought a statewide crime spree to a halt. A driver led police on a high-speed chase today, and it ended near the Indianapolis International Airport. During the chase, police say the driver went the wrong way on the airport expressway and sideswiped several police cars, bad idea, and an Indigo bus. Police say the driver, Robert Owen of Columbus, Ohio, was just released from jail, and they say he's been burglarizing homes all the way from Richmond, Indiana to Brownsburg. Now Owen faces several charges in Hendricks and Marion counties, but more charges could be added.
A Martinsville woman is angry, outraged tonight, upset that a man who drove a car that killed her daughter and granddaughter will not be charged criminally. Tina Berger believes criminal charges should be filed against Randall Ard instead of just a traffic ticket that he received. Police say his car crossed the center line on State Road 252, hit a car in which 21-year-old Krista Baker and her 23-month-old daughter were passengers. Ard says he was distracted making a cell phone call. The prosecutor, Steve Suniga, says the burden of proof would have been too high to get a felony conviction.
More Americans are having trouble affording their rent or their mortgage payment.
And it's not just affecting the poorest people. Ken Owen has more on the growing problem of Americans finding affordable housing.
Education. Marilyn Johnson was given her house near downtown Indianapolis, but she knows that for many, getting a home is not easy.
The American dream is for those who have to say the proper education and the income.
University of North Carolina researcher Michael Stegman says the American dream is becoming harder to achieve and keep, even for middle-income families making up to $42,000 a year. He has just completed a study of the issue.
There are over 3 million working families who are doing everything we expect of them, working, supporting their families, and they still can't find a decent place to live at an affordable price.
Dr. Stegman says those numbers have been rising in recent years because home prices are climbing faster than people's wages, so they can't afford as much house. And he says real estate taxes have been escalating nationwide. Plus, with land costs high, it's becoming more difficult to build new affordable housing.
We're so focused, as we should be, on people whose incomes are even lower, that we don't even think about working people when we think about programs and policies. And we've got to do that.
The Indiana Housing Finance Authority helped 8,000 Hoosiers find affordable housing last year, a record. Its take on Stegman's report?
That we've done a lot, but there's still a whole lot to do.
It's going to get tougher, you know, without decent wages to, you know, better jobs, education to make better wages.
From downtown, Ken Owen, 6 News.
For help in finding and financing housing, call the Indianapolis Neighborhood Housing Partnership. Here's the number, 925-1400.
And the next 15 minutes on 6 News.
Anticipation in the air, so is Skycam 6 as former IU coach Bob Knight prepares to speak to this crowd in Bloomington. We'll bring you the speech live as soon as it begins.
And conditions outside are favorable for such a large gathering, but we're in for a change. Kevin's Storm Team 6 5-day forecast is coming up.
the 7th Annual Michael's Walk and Family Fair for SIDS Research, Sunday, September 24th at Fort Harrison. Do it for Michael, for all babies.
How do you want to see the world? Your world looks better through glasses from Dr. Tavel's 1 Hour Optical. Newspapers say Congressman McIntosh's TV ads sounded fishy from the start. False and terribly inaccurate. Now McIntosh has made up a real whopper about the White River. The truth? Governor O'Bannon is prosecuting the polluters to make them pay. He cleaned up and restocked the river. It's McIntosh who voted to gut our clean water laws so polluters can dump more toxics. One of the worst environmental records in Congress. David McIntosh. Fishy negative ads and a record we just can't trust.
After 43 years of marriage, Frank O'Bannon and I have shared a lot. And one thing we share is a deep commitment to the children of Indiana. That's why, as governor, Frank works so hard to give every child a good beginning. And it's why Frank has made improving education his top priority. We still have a lot of work to do, but I'm proud of what we've accomplished. Indiana now leads the nation in children's health care and academic standards. I know with your help, Frank O'Bannon will continue to work for a better future for all of our children.
Looking for the absolute best deal on a new car? Get to Collins now during our 2000 closeout. We will not be undersold, period. Let me repeat that. We will not be undersold, period. Take advantage of all current customer incentives, all manufacturers' rebates, and most of all, take advantage of Collins' own deep discounts. Huge savings on all Collins guaranteed quality used cars, too. It's Collins 2000 closeout. We will not be undersold, period.
Craving flaky, crispy fish done the way only Long John Silver's can do it? How about golden fried chicken planks with our new tastier, crispier fries and piping hot Hush Puppies? Satisfy your cravings with an LJS fish and chicken basket combo. Flaky fish and tender chicken together with our new crispier fries, Hush Puppies, and a medium drink. Now just $2.99 for a limited time. So head on down for the food you crave and the meals you love. Only at Long John Silver's.
Give me 30 seconds of your time, and I'll show you how for just $5, we can put you in any car or truck in our inventory. Hi, I'm Jackie Lyons for Budget Car Sales and Leasing right here on Shaylin Avenue. And right now at Budget, pay a $5 acquisition fee, take on the low payments of any vehicle in our inventory, and here's the best news of all, make no monthly payments for 90 days. So do yourself a favor. See us right now. The selection is high here on Shaylin Avenue or call.
This live view from Skycam 6 over Dunn Meadow on the IU campus in Bloomington. The hundreds of students, fans, supporters waiting for former head basketball coach Bobby Knight to get there and give his side of the story, as he calls it. Now, as you know, a lot of emotions have been flying around after the firing was announced on Sunday afternoon. Since then, people have been protesting. Students have marched on Assembly Hall and on the president's home. So tonight, with this speech, campus and city officials are not taking any chances. Galen Bartnick is live on campus with that. Galen?
Well, Martha, there is a heavy police presence here on the campus. State, local, and campus police met earlier to discuss crowd patrol here. So far, there haven't been any problems. Police anticipate students will be calm. Nonetheless, hundreds of officers are on standby.
This is Bob Knight's time to voice his opinion, and people who are concerned to listen, and we honor that, and we're just trying to minimize any kind of injury or possibility of property damage.
And as you can hear, lots of people cheering. We don't know if Bobby Knight has arrived yet or not. The ambulance is here from Bloomington Hospital, and the Bloomington City Fire Department is also on standby. They say just in case any emergencies, but they anticipate everything will go smoothly this evening. We're live in Bloomington. Galen Bartnick, 6 News.
Right, looks like a rock concert. Thanks a lot, Galen. Appreciate it. Live look from the podium. As you can see, head coach Bob Knight has not arrived at the podium yet. We were told about 10 minutes ago that he was just leaving his home, which is not that far away, and we will bring you that speech live when it occurs.
Oh, he lives over near Ellettsville, so that's about a 15-minute drive over to the campus from there. And we're going to go to Kevin right now, and if Bob Knight comes to the podium, Kevin, we may not get all your forecasts.
We may bump you.
I will yield to Coach Knight. One thing Joffred 6000 can't pick up is Coach Knight's car, so we do know the temperature in Bloomington, 72 degrees right now, and you've seen all day long the absolute crystal clear sky. beautiful. 71 in Muncie, that's the cool spot. 77 in Lafayette right now, the warm spot. Let's talk about low temperatures tonight. Tonight is not the coolest night that we'll have. Wait till you get to the weekend temperatures. I'll share those in a second. So many of you will actually be at a couple degrees warmer tonight. 53, the predicted low for Indianapolis. Current conditions, does it get any nicer than this? On a scale of 1 to 10, of course, you never give yourself a 10 or the day at 10 because you got to save room for improvement. Sunny 73, the winds are calm, humidity only 42%. Martha gives it a 7, now it's up to an 8. Barometric pressure is steady, 8.5. High today 75, that's after starting at 51 this morning. Not a cloud in the sky, that means not a drop in the rain gauge. Within the state of Indiana, north to south, west to east, no clouds around. There are some clouds to the northwest along a cold front, and this is a strong cold front. It's the cold front that will influence our weekend. Clouds and some showers along the front tonight and this evening throughout portions of the Dakotas and Minneapolis. This will move to the south and east, so the first effect will be clouds during the morning tomorrow, and then an increasing chance for some thunderstorms throughout the afternoon. On an isolated basis, 1 or 2 of those could be on the strong side, but I think that would be very, very isolated. Temperatures tonight, low to mid-50s. We'll see clear conditions, so nice harvest moon, beautiful clear sky tonight. Winds are out of the southwest at 5. Then during the day tomorrow, temperature will warm all the way to 78, thunderstorms in the afternoon. Back to Clyde and Martha.
All right. We have just learned that Bob Knight has arrived at Dunn Meadow on the IU campus in Bloomington. We're going to go to the podium there for his side of the story, as he calls it. Hundreds of students have been waiting there for hours.
Some people actually camped out for many, many hours, starting early this morning, getting a good spot. They said they considered this not only a support for Bob Knight, but also history. Let's go to Eric Weisfeld, who's in the crowd there at Dunn Meadow. Eric?
Yeah, Clyde, I can tell you right now that these crowds out here are starting to get a little restless. They're cheering. I guess they're thinking that Bob Knight is approaching any minute, but someone did come over the podium and say that he should be here. We're going to go ahead and throw it to the podium right now where we believe that Bob Knight is starting to approach. Okay, another false alarm, so he is not here yet. About a couple minutes after 6 o'clock, someone did come over the speaker and say that he had just left his home, which was in Ellettsville, which is about 15 or 20 minutes away. So he should be arriving any minute, and he will arrive to a huge crowd. It just keeps growing. There are people here, mostly supporters, in trees. They're on roofs of fraternity homes, and they are waiting for him. They want to hear his side of the story, and they mostly, again, are here in support.
Here he is right
One of the students that is here who is a supporter said that last night he was in his sociology of sports class. They took a poll who supported the president, Miles Brand's decision, and only 4 people raised their hand. We want to go right now where we see Bob Knight is approaching the podium. Let's take this speech live. Who are you looking at?
There's really, I think over all the years that I've been here, one of the things that I've tried to keep uppermost in my mind with the basketball program is that the students are a very big part of it. And when I sometimes when maybe I slip a little bit or I don't, or I might not have that at the top of priorities. My wife Karen always reminds me, because I guarantee you in the 12 or 13 years that she's been here, there's nobody that has been more concerned or given me more ideas on what could be done as far as basketball is concerned for you, the students, than my wife Karen can. You do it in a minute now. You do it in a minute. Now, what she's done, and what I hope all of you students will take part in, is a walk, run for cancer that Karen has worked hard on, that will be set up here in Bloomington on the morning of the 14th of October. And she really wants you students to participate in it, because there aren't any of us anywhere that haven't been touched in some way by cancer. Okay? You gotta say that now.
I hope what he just did won't be termed inappropriate physical contact. But,
you know, I'm here talking to you as students in the year 2000. But what I think I'm really doing is talking to all students who have attended this university since 1971. How many of you students had a mom or a dad or a brother or sister who have attended Indiana since 1971? I mean, I've been here so long. Have any of you have grandparents that attended Indiana? Well, as I said, basketball has been I think a real cooperative venture. There have been a lot of people that have been involved with it. Coaches, administrators, not recently. Fans, and nobody any more so than students over the years. And that's why I say I feel as though I'm talking to all students since 1971. There's been a tremendous support from the student body for basketball. I mean, you had parents and brothers and sisters that rooted for May and Benson and Buckner and Cruz and Abernathy and Woodson and Tolbert and Turner and Kitchell and Whitman and Cheney and the Grahams and Steve Isle and everybody that we've had here. And the one thing that I've taken great pride in with the student body is how hard the students have always rooted for us. How I remember games when we were trying to get back from having lost, or maybe we'd lost a couple of games, and the students sensed that we needed something a little bit extra, and they gave it to us. There were times when we had to win 2 or 3 games in a row, and as the players rose to the occasion, so too did the students. We have tried to maintain a seating arrangement for you that is by far the highest percentage seating for students of any university in the country that plays basketball. And those students, since 1971, have helped you earn that. And they've earned it not just with their support of the team, the players, the coaches. They've earned it with the way they've conducted themselves, the decorum in Assembly Hall. You'll see a new Assembly Hall, I'm sure. When you go there this year, there will probably be ads in it for everything from dog biscuits to Pepsi-Cola, I would imagine. But we've always tried to keep it really free from commercialism. It's kind of a sacred place where students come to play and students come to cheer. And just as I've always wanted our players to be a part of the student body, so too have I always wanted our students to be a part of our team. And I think that our students have been that. Now, just as your moms and your dads, your brothers and your sisters have supported a lot of the teams and the players that I briefly mentioned without really being able to cover every player and every team, but I'd love to do that. I'd love to stand here and go through a lot of great memories of great players and great teams and great games and tough games for you, but I'm not going to do that. That's all been chronicled many times. What I want to ask of you is this. The same support that our teams have had for 29 years from you students is the same support that these kids playing on this team this year should get from you students. When you go into Assembly Hall for the first game this year, I want you to remember what I said about what your moms and dads, your brothers and sisters, your aunts and uncles, your friends that have been in those seats before you have meant to our basketball team. And I want you to mean the same thing to this basketball team. I have really enjoyed having had an association with students at Indiana University during the past 29 years. I said when I came here that if I had taken a year off and went around the country to find a place where I could coach, the most ideally suited place to me, I could not have come up with a better place than Indiana University. People change. People change over the years. That must be an administration helicopter up there. People change over the years, and that changes situations for good and for bad. But don't let the student body, the energy, the enthusiasm that the student body has had for basketball, please don't let that change. If you want to do something to remember me by, do that. continue the same energy, the same enthusiasm that the students before you have given to basketball. I'll be very proud of you for doing that. I'd like to thank John Ryan and Bill Orwig, George Pennell, Ed Williams, and Bill Armstrong for giving me a chance, for helping me get started as a basketball coach here at Indiana University. When you run into one of those fans that was a student here since 1971, I want you to just tell them that I said thanks to them also. Thanks to them for giving me a lot of great memories here at Indiana. Don't forget, this basketball team is your basketball team. There have been a lot of things that have happened here in the last 4 or 5 days. You've got a kid that was a student here just a second. Whoa. You got a kid that was a student here that I tried to show something to about courtesy, and I really believe that he got caught in a real surprise situation. I think he was a kid that was a little bit flustered, maybe a little bit more than a little bit flustered. I think he's been kind of led astray by a stepfather that's the only penance that kid ever needs. So let that kid be a student and let him get on with life. This thing, believe me, had happened to me long before that situation took place. Believe me, that kid is not responsible for my not coaching at Indiana, and make sure that you understand that. I want to thank, you're about to see probably a first in my 38-year career in coaching, and that's me thanking a newspaper for anything. But I would like to thank the IDS for supporting and setting up this chance for us to get together here tonight. And I might add that it was done with absolutely no cooperation from the administration. In fact, if I were you guys, now I'd be careful about letting anybody know that you were here tonight, because these people in the administration are really great at one thing, and that's putting a spin on things, putting a spin on anything possible to work to their advantage with no attention being paid to the truth. And I'll guarantee you that nobody, and you'll have to put a little thought into this one, nobody is better at the spin technique than right here. Charlie McCarthy and Edgar Bergen are the very best there are at it. All right, now, let me really turn serious for a moment. I want to wish you all the best at whatever you do. But to be the best and not even to be the best, but to have the best opportunities. You've got to work to be the very best student that you can. You've got to get the most out of being here. This is a great university. Trustees, administration, faculties change, and they increase or decrease occasionally, to some extent, the worth of a university. But this university has really stood the test of time, because the really good people that take care of you in the classroom and in every other way far outnumber the people that have agendas that don't involve the students first of all. Now, as I wish each of you the very best, and I thank each of you for your support of myself, Karen, and the rest of our family, I ask something from you. I have from this Board of Trustees and this administration, after 29 years, not even received a wish of any kind for good fortune in the future. What I'd like you to do one thing for myself and my family, because I haven't retired. I don't intend to retire. As of the other day, I was looking for a new coaching opportunity. I had great kids and a great experience at West Point before I came here. I had great kids and a great experience at Indiana while I've been here. I hope to have great kids and a great experience where I go from here to coach. And as I leave here, I'd like each of you to just take a minute, a full minute, to bow your heads, and in whatever way you do, wish myself and my family the very best, as I wish you the very best.
Bob Knight saying goodbye to the fans and to Indiana University. We'll have reaction and more to Bob Knight's address coming up tonight on 6 News at 10 on Channel 4 and at 11 on Channel 6. We're now going to return you to regular programming, which is ABC's World News Tonight, and we'll see you again later this evening. Thanks for joining us. Have a good evening.
It's the final lap of Toyota's 2000 clearance. This world-class event is a winner. If you want an incredible clearance value on a new Toyota, go for it. Before time is up, go now and get incredible low 3.9% APR financing for 36 months on all new 2000 Tundras or Tacomas. Or get $750 customer cash on new 2000 Tacomas. Now at your Toyota dealer.
One of the troubles with selling your home yourself is finding a way to attract qualified buyers. Call a realtor. It's worth it.
After 24 years in office, Senator Lugar has lost touch with Hoosier families. It's hard to believe, but he voted 6 times against prescription drug coverage for our parents. He's voted against a Real Patient's Bill of Rights to stop HMO abuses. He's even voted against using the surplus to protect Social Security and Medicare, and voted instead to give tax cuts to the rich. Call Senator Lugar. Tell him it's time he voted for Hoosier families for a change.
The calendar yields few weeks for us to escape. Those days, we run. For we hold the pass that opens doors. Wherever we go with our Blue Cross Blue Shield plan, we're covered. And I check worry at the border. This is my plan. To take care of their mind, their body, their spirit, their health. Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Indianapolis, are you ready for this? Call 802-5000 now and get digital cable free. That's right, free Comcast digital cable for 1 month. For the best picture and sound and the best networks, call today and you could have digital cable tomorrow. Plus, get Comcast at-home high-speed cable internet service for just $19.95 a month for the first 3 months. Call now for free digital cable and $19.95 a month at-home high-speed cable internet service. Call 802-5000 now.
I don't want to take a nap. Mommy, where are my socks?
Have you seen my black belt?
He's looking at me. There's a knot in my shoe.
Honey, where are my keys?
Mommy, I'm starving. Mom, where's my backpack?
Ford Taurus is designed to meet the highest safety rating ever, because heaven forbid you should ever have a real problem. And now, Ford Taurus comes with low 0.9 financing plus $1,000 cash back, only at your Indiana Ford store.
A new Survivor battle. Watch Farrah's comeback. Next, Access Hollywood.
We now join our regularly scheduled program already in progress.
Lie ahead for the United States because of the cost of energy. First, shutting down a nation to try to bring down the price of gas. It has been happening in many parts of Europe, and tonight Great Britain is down to its last drop of fuel available. 90% of England's gas pumps are empty, and the beleaguered Prime Minister Tony Blair still refuses to cut taxes. The military has its emergency fuel supplies on standby. This is largely a protest over the tax on gas, which has driven the cost of a gallon in Britain to well over $4. From London, ABC's Richard Gisbert.
The police started to get physical today, clearing picketers out of the way so that a few tanker trucks could begin refueling Britain. And today, the gas tax revolt came to London. The truckers leading the protest tied up freeways on their way to the capital, and when police blocked their way, they just shut off their engines and turned Park Lane into a parking lot. Now, on a normal day,